Guys, Sean here. Super stoked today. I finally got the steel back from heat treatment. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, basically I have the M4 and I've got the 4V back, ready to get sent out and ready to get turned into Puukkos. Daniel is the guy behind this beautiful, lovely knife right here. The company is Malanika. If you want to get a hold of one of these, you're going to have to contact him directly and get on a wait list through email. So super awesome knives right here. Arguably the best bushcraft knives in the world. Some of you are probably thinking, man, why do you do these carbon tool steels? Why don't you do something like awesome like M390 or S110V or 20CV, stuff I like, you know? Well, the reason is there's just not enough edge stability. A lot of people don't realize that this knife right here, while it is very, very thick in the middle there, it actually tapers down to about 10 thousandths behind the edge. So your kitchen knives in your knife block back at home, like your Wusthoffs and Henkels, they're about 20 thousandths behind the edge. The reason why you want it that thin is it bites very, very aggressively. And the reason why you want these tool steels is because you can get an insane amount of hardness without it being super brittle. What that kind of looks like, and some of the reasoning behind that is, as you can see, is we cut inside of this piece of wood right here, we just dominate. I mean, look how that pierces in. Great bite, and just shreds right off there. So that's why we're just not going to see things like M390, etc. So super stoked about that. The M4 is going to take a very aggressive edge. It's not going to be as tough as the 4V, and vice versa for the 4V. The 4V is at 64 HRC, and it's much tougher than M4 at 62, 63, and the reason being is just the carbide volume. 4V is very close to M4 in its composition, just they drop basically the tungsten in there and reduce the vanadium by just a wee amount. So you're going to get incredible toughness on this guy, but just doesn't seem to take that super aggressive edge. Good stuff though with both of these. 4V has very similar toughness to the 3V, just it's going to have a lot more edge holding. So not brittle or chippy at all. So awesome stuff there. Some more steels I'm actually really excited about getting to you guys. It's going to be this right here. This is CPM Cru-wear, and this is going to be at 63 HRC. The reason why Cru-wear was selected, a lot of people think that maybe it's like the same thing as 4V. Why would that be selected? It actually seems like it actually sharpens easier than 4V and M4, yet you still get that great toughness that the 4V has. So I think that would be an excellent addition to this lineup right here. It's definitely looking very, very promising. Probably going to be one of my favorites, so I hope you guys also enjoy that as well. An experimental steel for Puukkos is going to be the 10V. I say experimental. I just don't know how much stability this is going to have. So I even went with a kind of softer Rockwell hardness at 61, 62. But this steel is just packed with vanadium. We're talking like 10% vanadium. So you got to think of it as kind of closer to like the M4 but on steroids. So that should be really, really exciting to see. In my personal testing on some folders, I mean, it seemed like it just cut forever, and it definitely seemed like it was up to the task of being a Puukko. So we'll see how that rocks out at 10 thousandths behind the edge and how it kind of carves through wood. The only stainless that I'm even going to mention that I would think even be a candidate for being a Puukko is going to be this stuff right here. CTS BD1N, and you can see the hardness is at 62, 63. Some of you guys out there are thinking like, dude, get out of here, man. CTS BD1, that's garbage. That's budget steel. That's just what they use on that Spyderco Manix, lightweight. Well, no. This is completely different. This is CTS BD1N. It's nitrogen hardened. So if you look at those expensive steels like LC200N, like on the Spidey Chef, some other ones, they're basically substituting carbon with nitrogen to try to get it to full hardness. This does not do that. This has carbon content of 0.85 to 0.90, and they add the additional nitrogen to really bump up the hardness. It's not completely understood, but it actually forms very complex nitrites in the steel, very similar to carbides, but much finer. Should be very, very exciting to see how this performs as a Puukko. I think this is probably going to be my favorite right here, but we'll just have to see, okay, guys? So getting these things shipped over to Daniel. If you ever want to get one of these guys, make sure you get in touch with Daniel. I'll leave the email down in the description because that's about the only way you're going to get one of these knives. And I highly recommend them. Definitely the best, man. Awesome. All right, take care, guys. Later.